Hello Destiny players and random YouTube viewers. This week I am back from my break. I apologise for the absence and lack of videos recently. I've started a new college and I've had my 18th birthday and I've taken a little time to myself. So with that out of the way, let's jump into this week's build. This is the Arc Hunter 1-2 Punch and Assassin's Cowl build. This is probably the most well-known build for hunters of all time. This build focuses on invisibility, damage, arc chaining and healing. So with that, let's have a look at today's build. As we can see in that footage, we decimate all adds in our way, keeping out of sight and constantly healing. So, with that out of the way, let's take a look at what you will need for this build. Beginning with the fragments, we have Flow State. Defeating a jolted target makes you amplified. While you're amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly, you are more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. Next, we have Lethal Current. After dodging, your next melee attack has increased melee lunge range, jolts the next target, and creates a damaging aftershock. Damaging any jolted target with melee attacks also blinds them. Moving on to our fragments, we have Spark of Feedback. Taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage. This fragment also provides with a plus 10 to the resilience stat. Next, we have Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. This fragment also provides us with a plus 10 to the strength stat. Our next fragment is Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace. And finally, we have Spark of Haste. You have increased resilience, recovery and mobility while sprinting. Now moving on to our supers and abilities. For our super, we have Gathering Storm as it deals the most damage. For our dodge or class ability, we have Gambler's Dodge. Dodging near enemies fully recharges your melee ability. For our melee, we have Combination Blow. Defeating targets with this ability fully recharges your class ability, and it also restores a small amount of health. Finally, for our grenade, we have Pulse Grenade, but pulse grenades are not mandatory. If you do not have any of these fragments, aspects or abilities, they can be purchased for Glimmer from my core array. She hangs around in the bazaar section of the tower, and Glimmer can be found anywhere in the game.
Anything you need.
Now moving on to our stats and armor mods. For our stats, we should aim for high mobility, as this charges our class ability quicker and increases movement speed and jump height. 100 resilience, as this gains a 30% damage reduction at all times, and high strength, as this charges our melee ability quicker. If you struggle to get high stat armor, mods can be put on your ghost to focus a high stat armor of your choice. This armor can then be focused at the helm. Now moving on to our mods. For our helmet, we have Double Hands On, as this charges our super quicker on melee kills, and a Harmonic Siphon to generate orbs of power with arc weapon kills. Harmonic mods will also match your subclass element. For our arms, we have Heavy Handed, as melee kills generates an orb of power, and Kinetic Dexterity. This will pair well with our main weapon for this build. For our chest piece, we have Melee Damage Resistance and Harmonic Resistance, turning it into an arc resistance. And Charged Up, this increases the amount of armor charge stacks you can carry. Orbs of Power will now grant us stacks of armor charge. For our legs, we have Recorporation, as Orb of Powers will now grant us health. We're also running Double Arc Weapon Surge. Surge mods increase the element weapon damage, and our armor charge will now decay over time. Finally, for our class item, we have Distribution. Dodging near enemies reduces all ability cooldowns. Bomber, dodging near enemies grants energy to our grenade ability, and Time Dilation increases the duration of decaying armor charge. Now time for our chosen exotic. We have the exotic headpiece for hunters, Assassin's Cowl. The exotic perk on Assassin's Cowl is Vanishing Execution. Powered melee kills grant invisibility and restore a portion of health and shields. Finishes and final blows against more powerful targets increase the duration of invisibility and the amount of health and shields that is restored. And that is almost it for our build. To get the full potential, we need a shotgun with the perk 1-2 punch. When hitting a target with nearly every pellet in the shot, increases melee damage for short duration. A good shotgun to use is the Wastelander M5. This can be acquired from completing Dares of Eternity, and using the treasure keys that drop from the end of the activity to open the chest in Exur's treasure hoard. This weapon can also be crafted, only if you acquire 5 red border patterns of the weapon, or you use 5 deep sight harmonizers. To craft weapons, you need to go to the Enclave on Mars, which is accessible via Savathun's Throne World. Crafted weapons can also have enhanced versions of the basic perks. And that concludes this week's build, but I'm going to show you some good weapons to pair with this. Starting off with the Aikilos SMG, an ARC 720 RPM aggressive frame. This can be acquired from completing the exotic mission Operation Seraph Shield. This can be accessed through the Legends tab. And for my heavy weapon, I have the Thunderlord, an ARC exotic machine gun. This can be acquired from a random exotic drop. And thank you for watching this week's build. I again apologise for the long break. I've just started new college, had my 18th birthday, and this was filmed and the script was written before the break. It's just I needed to get, just some things adjusted, turning 18, new college, so. But I should be back full time, hopefully. And I apologise it's like shorter or a bit more low effort. I haven't really had time recently, but now I've got everything sorted, I have time to make videos again, which I enjoy. And thank you all so much for the support on the recent videos. I've been absolutely loving it, and I absolutely love making these videos for you. So, with that, thanks for watching, Eyes Up Guardians, and I'll see you Starside.